The Derrick Henry 99-yard touchdown run. I've been hearing things like the Jaguars' effort was really poor or they didn't tackle well. So I wanted to take a look at this play and see what the truth is. Full disclosure for my followers, I'm a Titans fan and I was at the game that night and very excited about this play. So I wanted to take a couple of days to calm down and look at it from an objective point of view. First of all, we know from reading about it later the play was originally a quarterback sneak, and you can see Mariota check out of it right at the line of scrimmage there. When the play begins, which we'll see in just a moment, it looks like Henry is just looking to run it up the middle, just get out of the end zone and get out of that situation. But Calais Campbell takes a nice angle to the play here and has leverage toward the play side and would normally make the tackle, except Henry sees that he has leverage here and decides to break it to the outside. Blocking on the edge is really good here. If you take a look, you see Michael Pruitt is matched up with Telvin Smith, and that's really what gets Henry off to the races. You're going to see Michael Pruitt lay a block here that sends Telvin Smith flying. And Jack is also blocked fairly well here and doesn't catch up to Henry till very late in the play. The first defender to actually reach Henry is A.J. Boye. Remember that Henry has quite a size advantage on Boye anyway, but Henry also has the forward momentum here. And he uses his stiff arm to create enough separation that Boye isn't going to be able to wrap or square up and make the tackle. And Boye tries to recover, but there's just not enough time to get back to Henry, and Henry's well past him when Boye's able to recover enough to actually look to square up again. And here we have Leon Jacobs, number 48, coming up. He's a defensive end that was on the opposite of the play side. He's a fairly athletic guy, but he's still not used to pursuing guys down the field. It's just not in the scope of what he usually does. And actually, let's back up here just a little bit. You see him when Boye is making his attempt to make a tackle. He hesitated just a little bit there, and that actually will end up hurting him later in the play. It's going to cost him being able to get in front of Henry. He has to remain to the side, and that's going to also be a problem. He can't get in front of him and stop Henry's momentum. So Henry is able to use a nice stiff arm here and keep Jacobs at bay. And then Henry finally dumps Jacobs by throwing him ahead where he loses his balance and falls down. Now we're about to see Jack finally catch up to Henry. And once he works around Corey Davis, Henry gets a hand on his helmet to keep Jack. And you can't see it very well, but you can see that there's some separation there, and Henry's reaching his hand out. Henry gets a hand on his helmet to keep Jack from being able to dip and use his lower body to get leverage needed to push Henry out of bounds and make the stop. And we also see Boye almost catches up with Henry again, but it's too late. Henry's pretty much into the end zone before Boye can get there and attempt to do anything. Was it poor effort? Not at this point in the game. There were certainly many plays after this point where the Jags defenders seemed to pack it in, but not really here. Was it poor tackling? I think you could make the case that some of the angles of pursuit were not the best, but Henry's stiff arm also did a good job of keeping defenders from getting close enough to square and wrap. This was just a well-executed play by the Titans offense and a great individual effort by Henry to take it all the way.